Hi, I'm David Cote of David Cote Photography, and what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to show you how to create a metadata preset in Adobe Lightroom so that when you import your images in, you can automatically have those presets applied so that you don't have to go in and fill every single image with contact information, copyright information, and so forth. Okay, we're here in Lightroom, and I just have an image up here. It's just one of my old images from back in 2010 when I was visiting Maine. And right now, in order to create a preset, you have to at least select an image so that the metadata part of the library panel will populate, at least with the basic metadata that comes with that particular image. And so you got to be in the library module. You have to pick a particular image. In this case, I've got this one here picked that I'm going to call Yes Dear. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here to the metadata section. And you see that there's basic metadata here that's been inputted in by Lightroom. It's read the XMP file, or it's read the particular photograph information if it's a JPEG or whatever, and it's inputted in here basic metadata relating to that particular image. But what I want to do is I want to focus in down here on the contact information, as well as down here on the copyright section, right down in here. Because I want those to pretty much be standard, and I want them to be applied to every image that I import in, and it saves me from having to go type all that in for every single image that I end up editing and making my final image. So this is a great way to save some time. You just do it once here, and then you just apply it by creating the preset. So that's what we're going to do here. So you notice here in the metadata section of the library tab, the first drop down is labeled preset. And this is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to create our preset, and then I'll show you on the import how we apply the preset. So in this particular case here, I go to Edit Presets, and it's going to open up just the basic preset tab. So here's all the different places here that we can input information. And again, my focus is on things like this, is the copyright information and the creator information, because those are the types and perhaps keywords here, because I've got some basic keywords that I like applied to all of my images. Basically name, David Cote Photography, and things like that. So I got basic keywords that I like to have applied to all of my images, so that way they at least have some kind of keywords to them. Especially when I save them out as JPEGs, and then I post them to the web, out on my website or whatever. If people were to look at the IPTC data there, they would see at least some particular keywords. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to focus here on the IPTC Creator section here first. And basically the creator is going to be myself, right? So I'm going to put in here David Cote and my address. Now I've got all this already copied over here, so I'm just, instead of me typing it, I'm just going to copy and paste it. And my city, of course, is going to be Levine. Don't have to type it in. My state is Arizona. 85339 is my zip code. My country is USA. My phone number 757-412. 8618, and my email address is going to be dave@davidcotephotography.com, and my website, of course, is going to be davidcotephotography.com, and my create a job title, well, I'm the photographer. Pretty straightforward. So that's the creator section that has been filled in now. So now I'm going to go just up above to the IPTC copyright. And here's where I'm going to copyright, and I'm going to copy, if you will. Right there, my copyright, which is 2020 by David and Cote. That's me, all rights reserved. Now that's not the copyright symbol, so I'm going to select and I'm going to copy. So I'm going to boom. Don't need two, just need one, so there's the copyright. And I'm going to change this to copyrighted. Now what I do is basically at the end of every year I collect all my images, I burn them onto a DVD, and I send them to the Library of Congress and to the Copyright Office basically, and they then register those photographs and they become copyrighted images, and I don't have to worry about it. So essentially by the end of 2020, all these images that I import in will end up being sent to the Copyright Office for them to do the copyrights. So rights usage terms, and again, what I've got here is basically this image is property of David and Cote and protected under U.S. and international copyright laws. Copying, duplicating, saving as a digital file, printing, publishing in form of media, including web, manipulating, transmitting, or reproducing without the prior written permission of David and Cote is prohibited. So that's my copyright usage terms. Boom. And then copyright information URL, which basically is just a URL out of my website that basically says exactly the same thing. And it also says, hey, if you want to commercially license this picture, then get in touch with me and I'll have a discussion with you and we'll figure out how we're going to do that. So that's pretty much it for the IPTC copyright. Again, this stuff is straightforward. It's very, very simple. It's not difficult. Anybody can do it. And then we come down here to the keywords, and like I say, I got certain keywords that I like to have put in. And these are the keywords right here. So I got my name, David Cote Photography, Instagram. I'm going to add Facebook, davidcotephotography.com, photography, blog. So those are all just basic keywords that I want all my images to have, so that if people download the image somehow and they're able to look at the properties, they'll see these particular keywords are applied to them. It's just what I do. And then what we're going to do here is we are going to hit up here to custom, and we're going to click on save current settings as new preset. And then it's going to pop up a dialog box, and I'm going to be able to give that preset a name. So I'm going to go 2020 Metadata Preset. And I'm going to create it. And then I'm going to hit done. And now I've got a preset here. If I come down here, I got 2020 Metadata Preset. Now what's nice about this is I can apply it now to this image. This image right here, as you see here, has no contact information here. And neither does it have anything down here, or keywords which would be right up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this preset. Boom, the preset's been applied. So now you see I've got my keywords up here. Boom. And I come down here to my contact information, and look, there's all my copyright information, and here's all my contact information. So everything is there ready to go. So I can apply this to any sets of images that I've already created that are already in my Lightroom catalog. I just have to highlight those images, go to the library panel, go to the metadata tab, hit the first drop down which says presets, and then select that particular presets, and it gets applied to all of those images. But really, where the good stuff here comes in is that you can apply this to all images that get imported in. And it's really, really straightforward. It's pretty simple. You go up here to File, and you're going to say Import Photos and Video. And what's going to come up here is going to be the Import dialog box. And over here to the right, there's some personal family images that I've got. which I'm not going to import, but anyways, I'm just going to show you where to go ahead and set this. But over here on the right hand side, you get a series of little boxes here. So file handling, file renaming, how do you want it renamed, what do you want to apply during the import. And this is where you see here, the first one is a develop setting, where you can apply certain develop settings so that your pictures will come in already be somewhat developed. So if you have certain settings that you like to apply to all of your images, like lens correction and chromatic aberration removal and that kind of basic stuff, you can set up a develop preset and apply it. But what we're looking at here specifically is this metadata tab right here. So if I go here, you'll notice that my metadata preset is right there. So let me go into working, and let me see. I got some old images here, so I'll just import in some old images. I've already imported those. I've already imported I haven't imported these. So let me go ahead and import these guys. I'm just going to go ahead and delete them, but I'll just import them so that you can see that the metadata got applied. So again, I've got my metadata set here as 2020 metadata preset, and then I'm just going to hit import. And it's going to import these images. And there they are, there's 4 of them. So now if I go to my library tab here and I click on my first one, you see that my contact information has been added in and my website's there. And I come down here and my copyright information is right there as well. And it's the same for any of these. And what's nice is once you've done it once, then it's pretty much will always show up in your import box. So if I go back here to import photos and videos and the dialog box comes up, you see over here that it's already set to the 2020 metadata preset. So basically I don't have to think about it again. Once I've done my initial import in of images using that preset, it pretty much is there every time that I will import images, and I don't have to worry about setting those presets. I don't have to worry about going in and putting my contact information, my copyright information. It's pretty easy and it's straightforward, and this takes care of it for me. So that's my quick and dirty tip, if you will, for setting up a metadata preset in Lightroom, basically to speed up your own processing and to reduce the amount of time that you're in there applying metadata presets or metadata or putting in metadata to all of your images. So again, makes it pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and pretty simple. See you next time. Thanks.